just to let you know I'm ballin'. I'm a smoke, make it rain just to let you know. Tell her hater get up.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Seahawks coming in at 6-3, going up against the Falcons, who come in at 6-3.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Eluding the pressure right. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Deion Jones in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Off the fake to Lacy, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor.
Well, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. carry for Thomas Rawls. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They go again with Rawls. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. In motion is Austin Hooper. On 2nd down, Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 48 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. He's to the 10, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he's got room. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And incomplete here on third down.
So many offense want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. First down, this is Rawls. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Now Wilson on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on 2nd down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And incomplete. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Now Ryan on first down. Dancing, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Ryan. Flush to his right. And the pressure gets to him again. Cliff Averill in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the shotgun, Ryan. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And absolutely zero surprise that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet? Oh, I've got the exact play to dial up.
No, that's just a head-scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Now it's Lockett. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. And they're definitely showing blitz here. They'll try to run with Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On the ground, Rawls. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And it's up and good to extend the lead to 13-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And some space here. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Ten yards to go on 3rd. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He finds Coleman. That good for 19 and a first down.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply. And then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing again, Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They toss to Freeman. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Ryan now off the bootleg. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Cliff Averill in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And that'll be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Wilson to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Flushed out. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Atlanta Falcons are in for the touchdown. Fumble, they get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Flush to his right. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They are making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball, a little dangerous, could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And he'll get nothing out of that one. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Larry. Both teams appear ready for action here in quarter number 3. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Buying time to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Mike Bennett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Cliff Averill in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Lockett. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Rawls. Breaks through the contact. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Back to the ground on 1st. Again, it's Rawls. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. An extra point try now for Walsh. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They go play action here on first down. The left side completion to Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Being chased out left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
To throw on 3rd down. Ryan. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Bannon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He's going to field this at the 4. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now it's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On the ground, this is Lacy. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Falcon football as they take possession. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 56 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Now the pitch to Freeman. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. He couldn't get the edge there. Wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside. No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now fourth down. So an important try here from Matt Bryant. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the fourth.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a toss. This is Rawls. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
To throw is Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2. They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. Throwing is Wilson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they pass on the chance to kick the go-ahead field goal, and that may be one they're going to regret big time.
And I think the head coach is going to have some explaining to do, right? Because in this situation, you kick the field goal to give yourself that chance at victory by going for it.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The rookie from Michigan State, Malik McDowell. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. He got 29 yards that time. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. A toss play left. There goes Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
2nd of 6 yards. Ryan to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's Ryan. Drops it off for Coleman. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Now Ryan. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing now is Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Here's Wilson. Airing one deep for Curse. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Now Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 29. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 and a first down. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped. And I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the west.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Wilson a give to Rawls. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And a call. Costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Again, Rawls, he's been busy tonight. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. So they pick up the 1st down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Two minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Here's Rawls. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Rawls. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Precise on the toss. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on now is Blair Walsh. This to win it in overtime. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Seahawks, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Falling too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall.